Well, good morning. Welcome. We're going to have a nice kindergarten reading lesson from the Joan book. But before we start with our reading lesson, I'd like to get to know you first. So if you would maybe tell me your name, and you can greet me and say, "Good morning, Mr. Reed. My name is," and then we'll have a nice greeting, and then we'll have our lesson. Does that sound like a good idea? Very good.
Hello, I'm Jason.
Jason, it's nice to meet you. Are you ready for a nice reading lesson?
Sure.
Do you enjoy reading?
Well,
Do you like stories?
sometimes.
Well, good. Then if we learn how to read, then you can read the kinds of stories you like. Wouldn't that be nice?
It's fun.
Very good. Can you say good morning, Mr. Reed?
Good morning, Mr. Reed.
And what is your name?
Ella.
Ella, it's very nice to meet you. Do you like to read?
Yes.
Yes. And do you have favorite stories that you like to read?
Yes.
Very good. You say good morning, Mr. Reed?
Good morning, Mr. Reed.
Good morning. And what is your name?
Anna.
Anna, it's very nice to meet you. Do you like reading stories? Isn't it exciting that you get to read to yourself? Yes. Can you say good morning, Mr. Reed?
Good morning, Mr. Reed.
Well, good morning, Travis. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good. Are you ready for a nice lesson?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you like learning to read as well?
I could read already.
You can? That's exciting. What kinds of things do you like to read best?
Snake cake.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Good morning, Mr. Reed.
Well, good morning. Could you tell me your name, please?
Deuce.
Deuce. It's very nice to meet you. Are you ready for a nice reading lesson?
Yeah.
Yes, and we're going to read out of Joan today. Would that be all right? Very good. Now, before we start reading the lesson that I have for you, it's always good for us to turn to our consonant chart and to practice the sounds of our letters, right? Because if we practice the sounds of the letters, then when we start to read, it's easy to remember what they say, isn't it? All right, so let's turn in our Joan book to the page that has 1 on the bottom of the book. And these are our consonants. You can leave the book flat open, that's okay. These are our consonants, and the consonants are the letters that don't change their sounds. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Good. Now, we have a choice. We can either practice saying our sounds across or up and down. Does anybody have an opinion?
Up and down.
Up and down. And when we read our sounds up and down, we say we're going to read them vertically. Can you say that word?
Vertically.
And if we read them vertically, that means we'll be reading them by column. Can you say column?
Column.
Does anybody think they can trace their finger down the first column? Let's see. Very good. Now, if we read across, we'd say we're reading horizontally. Can you say horizontally?
Horizontally.
And if we read horizontally, it means we read by the row. Can anybody find the first row for me? Can you trace your finger across the first row? Nicely done. Good. But you had said vertically, is that right?
Yes.
By column. So let's put our finger under the first letter, and we're just going to say the sound of these letters, all right? Okay, ready?
B.
Ba. Let's just say that, see if we can just say the sound, okay? Ba. Ba. Oh, we're going down. Good.
A.
Ha. O. Here, let's put your finger just below the letter, and then it's easier to see it. That's O. Pa. Second column.
Ga. Ka. Da. Va.
X.
Wa. Ya.
Third column.
Ta.
Ja.
Ka. Qua. Sa. Za.
Let's see if you can put your finger on the letter that says va. Va. Very nice. Now, can you put your finger on the letter after the one that says fa? Can you find the letter that says fa? And normally after will even though we did it down last time, Deuce, we'll put our finger on this one instead. There's the fa. Where's the letter after? Here. Good. Now, can anybody find the letter whose play name is the king? Good job. Now let's look at the very top of page 2. What letters do we have at the top of page 2?
A-E-I-O-U. The 5 letters that change their sound.
They do change their sounds, don't they? Now, do you remember the 2-vowel rule? I bet you do. I bet it's just you haven't been told that name for it yet. But if I see an A and an E, what would I do? Cross off the
Second one and the first one says its name.
That's the 2-vowel rule. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So now you know another name for it. Good. Let's turn in our books all the way back until we get to page 26. Now, how will I find 26?
Look for 2.
Look for 2. And will it have a 0 after? If it's 26, what would it have after it? A 2 and a 6. Let's look for that. Let's see if we have a 2 and a 6. Did you find it, Anna? Which one is 26? That's right. So let me ask you a question. Let's say it's Travis's turn to read. What should everybody else be doing?
Being quiet.
Being quiet is a good start. What else should we do?
Listen.
We should listen. Why should we listen?
Because if we don't listen, then we will just be paying attention to something else.
That's right. We'd be distracted, wouldn't we? And if we only listen to the words that we read, you would only read a few words. That wouldn't be very fun, would it? No. Let's say this. What if one of you is having a difficult time with the word? Should I just yell it out if I know what it is?
No.
Why not?
Because you have to be quiet. Because if we yell it out, we'll be distracted.
We'll be distracted, that's true. And if you were trying to read a word and I just told you what it was, would you be able to read it? No. So that's not taking turns, is it? So when it's our turn, we'll read the word. And if we need to sound it out, would that be okay? Sure. We can use our rule to sound these words out, can't we? All right, so we'll do that, okay? All right, so let's put our finger on the first word. And let's see, let's put it on page 26. Very good. And Jason, would you like to read the first word, please?
Lat.
Okay, that's close. Let's look and see. I see an A and an E.
Cross off the second one and first one.
And what does this say? The A says,
Lat.
but if I see an A and an E, I cross off the E, and the A says A. So it sounded out
Late.
Very good. Now, will you tell me the word you read?
Late.
Late. Do you know what the opposite of late would be?
Early.
Early. Is it good to be early?
Yes.
Yes. Should you be late?
No.
No, you don't. You don't want to be late. Are you told that you should not be late to school?
Yeah.
Yes, is that right? So if you're not late to school and you're not early for school, what would that make you?
Not lose
Just
their citizenship.
perfectly on time.
time.
That's right. Very good. Perfectly on time. All right, let's move to the next word, Ella. I see. What do you see?
I and E. I cross off the second one, and the first one says its name. I.
Do you remember what WH says? It's a blend that says Hua.
Hawaiian.
Yep, now let's say it faster.
Wine.
And what word do you hear?
Wine.
Wine. Can you hear wine?
Yes.
Whine. Now, do you know what it means to whine?
Like kind of fuss.
Kind of what?
Fuss.
Kind of fuss. Have you ever heard somebody, no, I'm sure nobody in your classroom has ever whined before, but have you ever heard somebody whine?
Yes.
What does it sound like?
Like crying.
Yeah. Let's say you said, I want to go home. Could you say that in a whiny voice?
No.
No, you shouldn't say that in a whiny voice. Who else whines other than children?
Baby.
A baby? Could a baby animal whine?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a puppy whine?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
cry? Mm-hmm. Have you, Deuce?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can whine too, can't they?
I don't have a puppy, but I did hear one before.
You have heard them whine? Yes.
I don't have one, but I hold on.
Oh, that's good. Now, would you say...
I just have a kitty.
Okay. Is it pleasant to hear whining? No. All right. Anna, would you read the next word, please?
Speak.
And would you tell me what you read?
Speak.
What does that mean?
To talk.
To talk. Can you speak?
Yeah.
Who else can speak?
Dogs. Animals.
Dogs, they can speak to us, can't they?
Cheetah.
Can they? Do they use words?
No.
No. All right. Travis, do you know what that next word is? Right here.
He.
He. Very good. So if we see H-E, what should we say? He. And does he stand for a boy or for a girl?
Boy.
Boy.
Stands for a boy. That's right. Okay. Deuce.
Time.
Very good. And what does that mean?
Like you can come to school right on time.
That's right. Have you ever asked the question, what time is it? Can you ask that question?
I do.
Now, if I were to ask you that question, Anna, where would you look?
At the clock.
At the clock. Where else might you look?
At your watch.
At your watch. Guess why I asked you that question?
Because I have a watch.
Because you have a watch on. Good. Are you learning how to tell time? That's very good. What time does school begin? Do you know?
I don't know, but I know when it ends.
Really? That's good information to have. When does it end?
At 3.
At 3 o'clock. Very good.
Maybe it starts at 1.
Does it? I think it starts a little earlier in the morning. Do you think? Yeah. All right. Good. Let's see. And Deuce, you just read time, so we're back to Jason. Can you put your finger on the word?
Hope.
Can you put your finger on the word, please?
Hope.
Okay, and what is that word?
Hope.
Yes. Can you say, I hope you feel better tomorrow?
Hope you feel better tomorrow.
Right. And to whom would you say that?
Some person who is sick or something.
Yeah, somebody who's not feeling well, right? Okay. Now that we've read our words, let's think about this. Which ones kind of go together? Can you see any words that might go together?
Okay. Okay, I see sentences.
We'll read the sentences in just a moment. Right? Can we see any that we might be able to group together?
Late when time.
Late and time. Now, how could we group those together, Ella? If you're late, are you on time?
No.
No. There are two other words that go together. Can you see them? They both make a sound.
Hop.
A hope doesn't make a sound. What sounds do you see? I think you're just going to say it.
Speak and whine.
Speak and whine. That's right. Which is the pleasant sound?
I don't know about that.
Well, do you think one would be more pleasant than another?
Speak.
Speak is more pleasant than
Whine.
whine. Would you agree with
That's
that?
what I was about to say.
That's what you're about to say? Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Now we're going to read some sentences, aren't we? And how shall we start a sentence? How will I know a sentence is beginning? What should I look for? Yes, Deuce.
A capital letter.
A capital letter. That's right. And how will I know when a sentence has ended, Jason?
With a period.
A period. And what does a period tell us?
That it's the end of a sentence.
It is the end of the sentence. And does it mean that whoever wrote the sentence is finished telling?
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to tell you something and then I'm finished, could I put a period to tell you I'm finished telling? That's right. And when we read the sentences, we'll read the whole sentence. And remember, there's a who in each sentence, isn't there? And after the who, we'll have a slight pause. And then we'll read the doing word and what comes after it together. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
All right, very good. And let's see. Jason, you just read hope, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes? So we'll start with Ella. Let's everybody put our fingers on the first sentence. And Ella, would you read this to me?
Duke wants to see Joan.
Okay, and let's look at this word right here. I see an A and an I.
Oh my gosh, look.
What does the A say?
A.
Right.
Waits.
Very good. And will you tell me what you read?
Waits.
Okay, tell me the whole sentence now.
Duke waits to see Joan.
Okay, and let's say that all together. And let's put a little pause after Duke. Are you ready? Duke waits to see Joan. Now, who is Duke? Do you remember?
The dog.
Duke is a dog. Okay. Now, do you think Duke likes Joan?
Yeah.
How do you know Duke likes Joan?
Because he wants to see Joan.
How do you know he wants to see Joan? Deuce? What?
Because Duke is Joan's dog.
Okay, but how did? Yes, that's true. In this sentence, what tells us that he likes Joan? What is Duke doing? What does he do?
Wait.
He waits. If Duke didn't like Joan, do you think he would wait?
No.
Did Joan take Duke with her?
No.
How do we know she didn't take Duke?
It doesn't say.
Because she took Duke
walking or something?
Joan took Duke with her.
Right, and Duke wouldn't have to wait if he was with her, would he?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's read the next sentence. Anna,
He wants
let's look at that word again.
waits near the gate.
Okay, and will you tell me what you've read?
He waits near the gate.
That's right. And let's say it all together. He waits near the gate. Can we say it like? And we'll say near the gate, scoot together, because all of those words will answer one question. What question does it tell us? He waits near the gate.
To see Joan.
Do you think it tells us where he waits?
No.
Yes.
Near the gate? Does that tell us where?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's say the sentence again. Are you ready? He waits near the gate. Very good. All right. Now, why do you think he's waiting there?
He wants to see her.
So he can see her coming? Is that right? What if he was in a different part of the yard? Could he see her as well?
No.
No. Do you think that he's been waiting for a long time?
Probably, yeah.
Right? Why?
Because she might have been at work.
Okay.
Takes a long time for my dad to get back.
Yes. And so you have to wait for a long time.
Yeah.
And if you wait for a long time, we say you have to be. Do you know what you have to be if you wait for a long time? You have to be patient. Have you ever heard that word before?
Yeah.
Patient? Yes.
I hold it a lot.
Me too.
And I also hold a song about it.
Really? Well, maybe when we're finished, you can sing it to me. Will that be all right? Okay. Very good. And which Duke tells us, or which words tell us where Duke waits? Can you
At the
see?
gate.
Does it say at the gate or
Waits.
Near the gate.
near the gate? So maybe he's not so close that the gate would hit him if the gate opened. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? All right. Good, Travis.
Duke sees Joan.
Now, can you tell me what you read?
Duke sees Joan.
How do you think he'll behave?
What?
How do you think he'll behave when he sees Joan?
I don't know what haze means.
Behave, it means the way you act. How do you think he'll act? I'm glad you asked that question, Travis.
Happy.
Happy. How would a dog act happy?
Dance
Bark.
around.
Bark.
He might bark. He might dance around. What else might he do that a dog can do that you can't do, Jason? Could he wag something?
Yeah, he could.
Bite a bone.
You might bite a bone, and hopefully Jason wouldn't do that either, but have you ever wagged a tail? You don't have a tail, do you, Jason? But do you think Duke might have a tail? Do you think he would wag his tail if he saw Joan? Very good. All right, and Jason, would you read the next sentence too? Oh, wait, did you read? I'm sorry. Deuce, would you read the next sentence, please?
Duke, he goes to meet Joan.
Very good. Now, could you tell me what you read?
He goes to meet Joan.
That's right, and say it with me. He goes to meet Joan. Very good. Now, whom does he go to meet?
Joan.
Joan. Now, does it say that Joan opened the gate?
No.
No, but if he goes to meet Joan, do you think the gate was closed tightly?
No,
No. And why don't you think the gate was closed tightly, Travis?
because he'd be able to get out.
Because he got out. Do you think that's all right? Do you think Joan will be unhappy with him?
He'd be unhappy.
Joan isn't his owner, so he
But
probably won't.
but Joan is friendly with Duke. Is that true? And Joan knows that he's coming. Do you think Joan would be frightened?
No.
It might be frightening if he saw a dog come out of the gate. Unless you knew the dog. Does Joan know the dog? Yes.
I knew a dog. I knew a dog, but it cannot get out the gate. It was closed very tightly with a lock on it.
So that gate was closed tightly.
Yeah.
Is that different from Duke's gate? Was Duke's gate closed tightly?
No.
No. Very good. What's the opposite of to close a gate?
Open. It's open so you can go through. So when it's closed, you can't go through.
That's right. Very good. Now, let's see if we can remember the sentences that we've read. And let's see, Ella, you read the first sentence. Let's see if we can close our books and remember our sentences. Okay, Ella, what was the first sentence?
Duke waits to see Joan.
He.
He waits near the gate.
Very good. Do you remember what
He
happened?
sees Joan.
He sees Joan, and we actually said his name, so it's Duke sees Joan. Can you say that for me?
Duke sees Joan.
He goes and see.
He goes to
meet Joan.
He goes to meet Joan. Let's see if we can do it all together. Will you help us, Jason?
Sure.
All right, ready? Duke waits to see Joan. He waits near the gate.
He
Duke sees Joan.
and he
He
goes
goes
to
meet
meet Joan.
Joan. Now, do you think that if you went back to your classroom, you could draw a picture of this? Yes? And what would you put in your picture?
A dog and
Walls.
Walls. And what would the walls need to have in them?
Wood. Glue.
Pardon me?
Glue.
Glue to make the wall, but would it just be a solid wall?
Yeah. No, it'd have a gate.
It would have to have a gate. On which side of the gate do you think Duke would be? On
In the middle.
this side or the other side?
Middle.
Right in the gate? Can you be in a gate, or you have to be on one side or the other, don't you?
Inside.
He would be inside the gate, so then who would be outside the gate?
Then Joan.
Joan? And what would be the expression on her face?
Happy.
You think so? What would be the expression that you would see on Duke's face?
If he's not there, he'll be sad, but if he's there, he'll be happy.
He'll be happy. And how can we tell that Duke is happy? Can he smile like Joan? No. So what will he be doing? Jason, do you remember what he'll do?
waggling his tail.
He'll be waggling his tail.
Jumping.
Very good. All right. Well, I think we've come to the end of our lesson. So you'd like to just leave your books where they are. And then what I'd like you to do is to stand up and come follow Deuce. And you can come shake my hand and thank me for the lesson.